Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Chapman. Albert, with the recent passing of Bill Russell, a lot of memories come back. Is it the 2 championships in college? Is it the 11 in the pros? But he was known as the ultimate winner. And you and I, being old school, we firmly believe that you don't, like, there's some younger analysts that winning doesn't matter. It's not a quarterback stat. I call bulldoggers to that, and we're going to honor the winners.
Yeah, in professional sports, they are completely off. The score is kept place for a reason. Who wins the game is who you talk about. I had a buddy that started out in sports writing, and his first game he covered was a championship game, and he thought the losing team outplayed the winning team. So he went to the losing locker room for his first interviews, and when he wrote his story, which was big at the time, he spent a lot of his time talking about the losing team. He got called in by the boss who'd done this for 30 years. He said, listen, all I want to know is who won the game. That's who you spend your time with. I don't care. And there's the answer. I don't want to hear how good Rodgers is. You think I don't know? Yeah. But he can never go up, in my eyes, as one of the greatest of all time.
Can't get near Brady till he gets several.
Yes.
We've talked about
just the way it is.
LeBron with Michael.
Yes.
You know, you and I go back to the day where Ernie Banks could not be MVP.
I know. It's the truth.
And he had to, if that were today, he'd have 3.
Yeah,
everyone to Dairy Queen.
Yeah, you just hit something that's different in my mind, because I'm a dinosaur. Like, player-wise, LeBron's in the top 3. But winner, I don't, because he had to move to get champions. George, if that's what Rodgers did, he left Green Bay to go play with Rams this year. Then he went for the Rams. He said, "Okay, yes, whoever the best teams are."
Yeah.
Well, I want a guy that takes his team to the championship, wins with his team. That's my.
Well,
thing.
let's talk about some winners, and then when we get to the big winners.
These are our winners.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah, but we're going to be a little quicker with the
lower level, yes, guys.
And Kelly Slater being one, the best surfer of all time.
Yeah,
now, to some people.
We in every sport.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 11 world championship titles from a young age.
He's 20 to 38.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to put Kelly in there. It's amazing.
You know what else too?
Just the guy that the surfing community looks at and says with awe.
And we don't understand it because we don't do it.
Right.
But I've watched enough, television and such. Knee injuries.
Yeah. The other thing is you watch, and this stands out in any sport. And if it doesn't, that's like you watch him do his routine.
Yeah.
Then the next guy, and you think, he's different.
Yeah.
Well, winners are different.
Winners
are different.
Let me tell you when I really saw that. When they had that golf thing where the quarterbacks were playing each other.
Right.
These guys are misreading these putts and stuff. I watch every Saturday and Sunday. Those dudes don't misread anything. No. They may miss it this
That's
month.
how they miss by.
But they don't they don't play it going right and it goes left.
No, they're pros.
That's a good word.
Pros. They're
That's
pros.
a good. And even I don't like symphony music. I don't like.
Right, there's certain things.
But I can tell when you're good. Yes. Like you're playing whatever instrument. I may not know how to play it, but I know. You know what? This Campbell's pretty good.
Yeah, I knew nothing.
Yeah.
About drumming.
Yeah.
But I knew the rich dude was pretty.
Buddy Rich.
That first name was Buddy. I knew the rich dude was pretty good.
Absolutely.
Like, the sound was different. It was different.
Let's talk Carl Lewis.
Oh, he's exactly
9 goals.
He was different. I mean, Carl Lewis could go out on the track and jump or run. He's also drafted by the NBA and NFL. Now so his genetic pool was pretty good too. But he had 9 Olympic gold medals and 8 world championships. Winner. That was they forget to talk about that with him.
The thing about him is, and I think some of it's of his own doing. He did some of these dumb things like trying to sing the Star Spangled Banner.
They all do stupid stuff.
And I'm like, come on, Carl.
Just stick in your lane.
You're
right?
royal.
Yeah, stick in your
royalty.
Lane. Yep, stick in your
absolutely.
lane.
Now, this Russian gymnast, Larissa Latinina, obviously we're not as familiar with, but when you win that kind of gold,
18.
Yeah. 9 golds.
18 18 medals.
Yeah, yeah.
In the including 9 goals. Well, there's people that are trying to get a bronze medal. Just one in their lifetime.
Hey, great story.
know.
Great story. The backup quarterback for the Lions, his wife, she has kept her maiden name. She appears to be Latina. She's in line for the Olympics in 2 years. And he's out on the track timing
Trying to help her, huh?
And she's running. Oh, my gosh, is she fast.
Yes.
And last year they had them all in the Lions, little film room, and they were all rooting for her in the trials.
Oh,
and here was even better.
that's
though.
good.
But here's the best line of all. He goes, I'm so proud of her. He said, if I had her speed, we'd be rich. How about that line? He's a pro quarterback.
So in other words,
Yeah.
you want to see their kids.
No, their kids,
There's some
they'll be
genetic-
throwing the ball over the goalpost and running and catching it.
There's some genetics coming through here that's going to be unbelievable.
No, it's that third team, and the guy fumbled a snap I told you
Gotcha.
about
Yes.
when they were running the clock out. Now, here's a guy I could spend the rest of the show on, the Mick.
Yeah, any Yankee during that period, they were not thinking about leaving the Yankees because they were the winners of all time. 7 World Series rings in 12 years. Just anybody who followed baseball in our time period knew that you had to beat the Yankees or because they were going to be there
He
every
had
year.
the Triple Crown in 56.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about it. The 50s, they won every pennant but 2, 54 and 59. The White Sox and Indians interrupted what would have
Go
been 10
Indians.
straight.
Good old Indians.
But the bottom line is, this guy's legendary. And there are a couple famous sports announcers, actors, Billy Crystal, whomever. They keep
Idolize him.
They keep his baseball.
No, they
card.
idolize him.
Yeah,
They went
past.
to Bob Costas.
That's him. He's the other one.
They idolize him. Yeah, they idolize him. No question. Well, he was one of those spectacular athletes from Oklahoma that come around once. Well, they come around once.
And you
in a
know what
lifetime.
happened? He was
Run
reckless.
faster.
Yep, he was reckless. Didn't
Yes,
take care of his
totally
body.
reckless.
And one of the reasons, now this is a bad reason.
Totally
his father
reckless.
died young, so he had this idea in his mind that he was going to die. And he used to joke when he got older, he got in his 50s. He said, if I knew I was going to live this long, I'd have taken care of myself.
Yes,
but the booze.
Drinking machine.
The booze.
Yes.
Well, they traded Billy Martin over it. See, once again, this is our lesson about depending how good you are, what you can get away with.
Right.
They get in a fight at the Copa. They don't trade Mickey Mantle or Whitey
Whitey
Ford.
Ford, no.
Who went?
Yeah, Billy's gone. Yes.
Billy was the bad
Billy
influence.
saying I knew it was happening.
Absolutely. Hey, let's talk about Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, he's a doper. I always thought he was clean, and George would tell me, if I to George, that's how naive I am. But besides being a doper, they were all dopers.
Yeah.
So that's the part I'll say right there.
Yeah.
They were all, and he
Yeah,
still whooped them every time he went out there.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
I know he's a cheater now.
Yeah.
But he was in the middle of all kinds of cheating.
That's what I used to tell Al. Al was like the nicest
Yeah, I was
person in the
like,
world.
thanks.
Like someone said to me the other day, they said, I don't think Al likes me. I said, that's not true.
That might be the stupidest thing I've
No.
ever heard.
And the guy says to me, I know that's not true. He goes, how do you know? I said, because
I like everybody.
He said, I've never heard you once. I've known
like
you since
everybody.
'84. I've never heard you once. And me, every other, what a jackass. Like, I'm calling out. I said, Albert, you see that dope down there? And he's like, he just doesn't get into it.
Yes.
But anyhow, what he told me, I said, I know you're wrong.
It's the truth.
He goes, what do you mean? I said,
I just talked to my wife about it the other night. She says, I don't have one person on this earth
and she's nicer than you are. That's the other
that I
thing.
don't like.
Oh, no. Well, there's way more to that. But let's just say this. You basically took him at his word.
I did, completely.
And he looked right, like A-Rod.
That's right
He
now.
looked right there. He said, Oprah, I did not cheat. A-Rod did the same with Peter Gammons. He looked him right in the eye.
How can they do that?
I have no honestly. I mean, at least you had ringworm. You could say you had ring. Let's talk Martina because she...
What was her? 167
No,
singles, and
177 doubles. Both records.
Oh my gosh! And 9 Wimbledons, 4 U.S. Opens. She had to make our list, and that so if we have her at 18,
The list is pretty good.
What the list is, where this list is
Yeah,
heading.
this list is pretty good.
Yeah,
she and she had a rival in Chris Everett.
Yes, she did. That's why I like that then.
Yeah.
See, that's when I followed tennis up because there was 3 or 4
People
guys
kind of like
and 2 girls.
little
You never
Seven
knew who
and
was gonna win.
Chrissy a little better.
Yeah.
You know, she was a big, strong girl. She had that monster
no.
left
Oh.
arm like, what
Martina.
was his name? The guy with the balding hair. Rod Laver. That left forearm looked like it was 2 arms.
Yes.
And hers was the same.
Yeah, she was a great net player.
Yeah.
And Chrissy was a great baseline player.
Yeah.
So it was also the duel of different games, and it was awesome to see.
Well, let's take a little bit of time to talk about this guy because
Yeah, he's a local guy.
Otto Graham. Talk about Otto Graham a little bit.
Took the Browns to the championship game in every one of his 10 years. I'll say every one.
Say that again. Now, you're going to tell me that winning for a quarterback isn't important.
I guarantee when they came to camp, they looked around and say, "Is Otto here yet?"
Yeah. When's Otto?
Yes. Every year for 10 years.
Did you see the other day that
105 and 17.
Did you see Lenny Dawson died the other
Yes.
day? Have you seen that
Famous,
classic
famous pictures. That's what he knows.
with that Fresca smoking
Yes.
that
Think about different
lung
ones there.
dart at halftime?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And nobody
I
s-
get an argument about that all the time. It's my argument that they didn't know any better.
No.
They thought, my dad and mom both smoked.
Yeah.
If you asked them when they were smoking,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with this.
No.
Now today, you know.
No.
So if let's say Lenny Dawson did not smoke and did not drink, took the Powerade, whatever they drink today,
Yeah.
and had everything available today.
Yeah,
he'd have been-
stretching,
he'd have
long
been,
talk.
He'd have been
Yeah.
6'2",
Yeah.
225, and they said, "You see this
God,
quarterback?
look at this guy. He throws a ball.
It's so different."
No. But Otto Graham, read that record.
105, 17, and 4.
No, wait,
Was that a
this
great
is
time to be a
pro
Brown
football.
fan?
This is pro football. This
It's not
isn't-
Alabama.
No,
Yes, that's right.
Now Alabama, we don't even
They
blink
pick their
100.
players.
Yeah,
And
and
they
the
pick
other
their
team
players.
doesn't get them. Like the pros, you wait your turn to pick again.
And then I learned something when I looked him up. I had no idea about this one. I started giggling when I wrote this down. He also won a championship playing professional hoops.
Rochester Royals.
So he said, "Okay, I'll take this winning and just don't go play basketball with it too." So that means he was a great athlete also. But Otto Graham, that was the Browns' heyday. The great Paul Brown. What a great group that was, no question about
Well,
it.
this famous wrestler, Alexander Carella, that's the one that Rulon Gardner had the damn famous.
Oh, was it? Yeah, that's the truth. He went undefeated international Roman Greco wrestling competition for 13
That's
years.
all. Now wait a minute. Now, I
So I
want
know
you
there's
to,
wrestling fans out there. See, we don't know wrestling like they do.
But I know
Some wrestling
13
fan
years.
just said right away, "Listen, Alexander Carolyn, I watched him go 13 straight years."
Wait a minute. I read that. The last 6 years, he didn't give up a point. Now, think about how easy it is to just
I'm gonna call
lose
my
your
wrestling
bout.
guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the way home, I got to tell you, you got to watch our show.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so you
He
can
didn't
laugh
give
at
up a
us.
point.
You got to laugh at us. How
No.
great
No.
this guy had to be. Remember, he's wrestling the best in the world.
Yeah.
He didn't get a point up.
Isn't that Greco-Roman? That's
Remember the wrestler you told me about was so great
Yeah.
that he would tell them,
You pick a spot. No,
You're gonna
Well,
get-
first of all, here's how
You're gonna get pinned right
Here's how
here.
he warmed up. He's out there like this. He didn't stretch. He didn't lift.
You're gonna get
he
pinned
he
right
went
here.
just like this. Then he'd take his coat off and he'd walk out. And, like, you know how they go to shake hands?
Yes.
He'd go,
"You're getting pinned right
he'd
here."
point to it. And about 30 seconds later, guess where the dude was?
On his back.
Right there. Like that. He wrestled this guy. Now, I'm not lying.
Oh, my
no,
gosh.
wait. This kid I know, he wrestled him 3 times. Never made a minute total. 30 seconds.
And how about too? You're getting destroyed today.
No,
Yes.
you have no
That's what
chance.
Alexander did.
No, that
Oh,
was
no
that
question.
boy. Now, Pete Sampras, 64 titles.
He's always in the argument as the guy
Yeah.
who's behind
I
the
could put him
modern,
there.
the modern guys. So when his name comes up right behind the modern, that's because he has 64 titles and 14 slams.
14 slams.
And so and that was at a time there was some great tennis players playing
He
against him.
played right after Agassi and those
Yeah,
guys.
that crew,
a little
yes,
bit.
a little bit right after
Becker.
him. Yeah, that's it.
No.
Another great tennis player, Serena Williams, goes right with him.
Yeah. 23
major
singles.
titles.
She can't. She's done.
I know Martinez is named a lot, but I have Serena as my number one in tennis.
Well, let's
tennis
talk
history.
about her a little bit because her path You know, she didn't go to Bolletary at IMG. By the way,
That's what I root for.
I talked to our IMG guys the other day. They're ready to welcome in a new group. Their football guys are there. Their basketball guys are coming. But what I wanted to say is, you know, Bolletary, these Russian girls and such, they were down there at 7, 8 years old when they could pick up a racket. Yeah. Where did she learn? On the cement.
Yes. I got King Richard taped, by the way, and I haven't seen it
Oh,
yet.
it's fat. Oh.
I got it taped.
Oh. It's fabulous.
But I have friends that don't root for her, and I said, I root for her so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Every time she plays.
I came around.
You know, every time she plays.
Yeah.
Because she was not given a silver spoon.
Silver spoon?
She was, what did I say, you're born on third base? She
ran all the way around.
She earned everything she did.
And you know what hurts is, you'll see, like, you know, obviously Venus was older.
Right.
So he pushed Venus. Venus was a little different personality. Right. One day he's talking to Serena, he's just a little kid. He goes, you know, kind of like the thing they did with Jackie Robinson. He said, you know, I knew you could handle it, baby, so I let you wait. He said, your sister's going to be the greatest whatever, but you're going to be the greatest of all time.
How about that?
He tells her that.
And she is. In my mind, she is.
Yeah, right now, you know, she's a 40.
Well, now, she's a 40.
Yeah, she's going to have a family, and she's not willing.
And lately, in the last 5, whatever.
Yeah, they wear her down.
She's out of shape. I mean, she takes other things, making money out of other areas.
Absolutely.
But I'm talking about, she was in her tennis prime, though.
No.
Those girls didn't have a chance.
She was smacking that serve. Now, here, this guy, you could have him up closer, depending on the situation. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 6 championships in 8 years, 2 gold medals, and 1 NCAA. There's I think I sent it to you. If not, I will. There's a clip before he became Michael Jordan. Mike.
What he could do.
Bobby Knight said, I tell you, he said, I've seen a lot of great.
Oh, no, he said he's going to be.
He said, this kid
will be the greatest.
I
saw that before.
He said, I'm telling you right now,
yep.
There is nothing.
You can't do
and what Knight was, he has that fire in his belly that some of those guys don't have, Albert.
I know.
Kevin Durant doesn't have that fire.
No, he doesn't. And the thing about what Jordan, there's not a chance. Jabbar is the only one I put in. Remember, it's not LeBron because he never worked on the shot, but it's Jabbar or Jordan. I'll take either one. But Jordan did something to Jabbar much better. He dug in it defensively. I'm talking about Jordan would say, okay, give me that best player
Tell
over there.
the Kittle's story.
Kittle's had 19.
Calipari was coaching the Nets. Tell him.
Yeah, Kittle's had 19 in the first quarter. And he's smiling running on the floor. And Calipari's first time in the league coaching the NBA. Jordan runs by and he waves his finger at him and Calipari says to his assistant, what's that mean? He said, Kerry ain't getting any more.
he says, what? He says, Coach, I'm not sure. He said, but I don't think that Kerry's going to score any more points.
And he didn't.
No. Remember what they did to the lefty in the Olympics?
Oh, yeah.
The one that was coming to their team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I watched that film too. I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
They made Kukoc.
Yes, Tony Kukoc. Yes, that's it.
He and the other guy could guard you up too.
Yeah, Pippen could really guard. That was the strength of them.
6'8".
They don't talk about
no. When they talk about if we played them, they would have.
No, that's the strength. Ron Harper could guard like crazy.
Yes.
You know, Rodman can guard like crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they could really guard.
And they had rim protection.
Yeah, they're big guys, 7-foot guys.
They always had, whether it was even Boardman was 7'4", I don't care.
They were huge, yes.
No, absolutely. Yeah. No. But this guy here, when you say soccer.
Yeah, his name comes right
Pele.
away. Yeah, that's the name that comes to the top immediately. I always want to see his records, and here's what they are. 3 World Cup winning teams. And the World Cup's everything, by the way. To us over here, because
it's a Super Bowl, right?
Of the world.
Of the world.
Yeah, of the world.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Led his original club team, Santos, to 10 championships in this league, and he also in 1977 North American Soccer League championship with the New York Cosmos.
Came over and played with the Cosmos.
Said, okay, you want to win? I'll come over and win New York. Here you are. And Cosmos fans at that time, New York fans still remember Pele as the guy. But he's one of those names that George we talk about all the time. Cher.
Yeah. When you have one name, Yogi, Elvis, when you have one name and you're known by one, Rocky.
Yeah, that's Pele.
No, that's everything.
Roger Federer, modern guy.
Let's talk about Federer because I think, I don't know if underrated is the word, but he's so quiet.
Yes.
And so, like, not a bit braggadocious.
He's a machinery guy. He's just, I mean, we see him play over and
He's
over.
going to hit that ball back until
20,
you make
20
a
Grand Slam
mistake.
titles, 103 career titles. You got to put him in the
Where
top
do you- okay,
11.
let's put him, just you and I. Let's look at him. Let's say we got Djokovic.
Djokovic is my favorite of all time. I mean, best of all time.
Okay.
I got Serena girls, Djokovic is
Where do you have Sampras as compared to Federer
Sampras is fourth.
and
my best.
Nadal? Well, give
I
me
got the top three are just are the modern players.
modern players. They're
Yeah,
all
yeah, those are my top three.
Okay.
And I love the makeup of Nadal, but he has so many titles on clay that I can't.
you can't beat
that
him.
I can't. That I
No,
can't give
they
that
just
award.
give them the French now. They engrave it before. Hey, the other day I saw something. Federer, this little kid was like 8. And he comes over and he introduced himself. You know, the kid's like, well, he said, I want to play you someday. Now remember, well, don't they get this kid like 10 years later and they surprise him? He said, who comes out? He goes, let's go. He goes, let's go. And the kid's like, I got goosebumps.
Oh, is that a story?
And the kid's
That's
like,
a story.
the kid looks, he's like, oh my. And Roger, you know, just you can see he's a good guy.
Yes,
He
he's
wouldn't-
doing that.
yeah.
You can't. You know,
No,
he's
he
doing
wouldn't
that.
have done it. How about
And I just mentioned him. I just
cap?
mentioned Kareem.
How about the cap?
Yeah, I mentioned Kareem.
How many? 6?
6 NBA championships, three NCAA.
Now, has anybody ever? Let's talk
No,
about
the
that
most
for a
dominant
bit.
NCAA player of all time. That was
Walton would be
he's second.
1A.
He's second.
But a 1A, not a.
Yeah, you can't put him as like
No.
not like Jabbar.
No.
I mean, they had to change the rule. I mean, he's a different guy. What can I say?
88 and 2.
Yes.
And I thought they got cheated both two. That's just me. But.
Won 71 straight games in high school, 3 New York Catholic championships, and old John Wooden ended up with him.
He knew.
And when he got, you know, he had already won a little bit with Hazard and Goodrich.
Right.
But when he got
Called him
Lou
Lewis.
Alcindor.
They called him Lewis.
Lewis Alcindor,
Yeah.
UCLA went on a run.
Hey, I got one for you. I got a little trivia for our viewers and listeners.
Love trivia.
The guy who broke his scoring record,
Empire Memorial.
John Candelaria.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that? That's
Tells you
awesome.
we're good enough.
That's
Well,
what he
once
was.
again, you and I, if we've beat a theme over the head, it's doing your homework and doing your
Yes.
studies and playing more than one sport.
Yeah, playing more than one sport.
Please.
Yeah. So right below Kareem, or up below, moving up the ladder, Joe DiMaggio.
Oh.
You know, no, he's truly the idol of all Yankee fans. I mean, Jeter has been a show on him, and he's become the modern idol. But Joe DiMaggio is the guy. And
How many World
nine
Series?
World Series championships. And and it was written down, one Marilyn Monroe. I
Yeah,
laughed.
he's doing something right too.
I laughed at that one,
But no,
yeah.
let's talk about him a little bit because.
56 straight games, George.
But then he made it out and hit like 20
21 more games,
That's
yes.
the other thing.
I know.
But that's the year Ted Williams hit 400.
Poor Ted.
Same year, poor Ted.
Poor Ted get left
But
in the
let's talk
dust.
about him a little bit. The outfielder, and see, he got it. See, here's what I'm talking about. These jackasses today. I'm not going to run to first base.
Oh, he's famous
I
for
know
that
he's
line.
going to.
He's famous
and
for
they
that
said,
line.
he said, guy said, Joe, you're running to first.
You run every day full speed.
He said, there might be some kid here that saw me play for the first time.
Yes.
And I will say this though, he had an ego to match his accomplishments. You know how
I think
they
most
had,
of them do.
You know how they had to announce him?
How?
The greatest living Yankee, and he had to be last.
Yes.
Every Hall of
Yeah,
Famer
most of
did.
them have an ego, but his was a little bigger. Yeah. And I mean, you follow hockey, and you knew that when I was growing up, you had to beat Montreal,
Yeah, the Rocket.
the Pocket Rocket, and Henri Richard, and 11 Stanley Cups with the Montreal Canadiens in 20 years. Considered the greatest Montreal Canadian player of all time, and that's
Imagine
hockey.
if that happened today, and someone won 11 out of 20. Like we would have, like we have Gretzky way up there.
right.
Lemieux,
Gretzky's
we
the
talk
greatest player.
Lemieux, but we talk about them all. But
Yes.
who do we say?
On right, but he's the guy who
Yes.
won, and at that time, your team was. We got to try to beat.
Montreal. You
Montreal.
couldn't beat the Canadians.
No, you had to beat Montreal.
It was thought that, and now we can't find a Canadian champion.
Oh, they're trying so hard.
Oh, my
They want Toronto to do so well. They do.
No, and
so
the other
bad.
thing is, too, on that same thing we talk about it. The thing that I get is one of the many, like with fanboys and whatever, it's not like the Penguins, the players are from Pittsburgh.
None of them.
I mean, you know what I mean?
None of them.
That's what we don't seem to understand. How about this guy? Here's one word.
Yeah, the greatest winner of all time.
Yogi.
Is Yankees. Is Yogi. I didn't say the greatest player, but the greatest winner. And what we're talking about today, winners, 10 World Series rings as a player and another 3 as a coach. So if he was somewhere on that field, my boy Yogi was winning. He might have been saying some funny things.
Yeah.
He might have, but the bottom line was, Yankees won again. When Yogi's up
3
there.
MVPs, Albert. You know, he wasn't just some funny guy
good
behind
player.
the plate.
Yes,
and
that's
he was
right.
a clutch hitter. And also another thing, too, let's talk about him. He was a great person.
Yeah.
He had a teammate who had deteriorated to the point where he had Alzheimer's, and he would go to the nursing home every day and sit with them till he fell asleep.
Aw.
Every day over.
Good job, Yogi.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy
That's the guy
he
I want
was.
to hear those stories more than the
Yeah.
records.
Now-
Our next 2 guys you put together. You can put them
Yeah.
any order
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
That's Tiger and Jack. Once
Yeah.
again, you know what sport it is, guys.
Yeah.
It's golf.
33 majors between them, 18 for Jack, 15 for Tiger.
Yeah, so you can put those in either way. My son-in-law will not watch golf unless Tiger's playing. That's how I like. And when we grew up, the Bear, it was Jack Nicklaus. He took over for Arnold Palmer. But those 2 are considered, they're the 2.
How do
they're the
you
2
rank
best.
them? Do you have a...
Yeah, because I'm an old dinosaur, that's why.
You have the majors counting more,
Yes.
despite the fact
until
Tiger
Tiger
won
goes-
110
until
and he
Tiger
won
goes by
72.
him.
He
Yeah.
can't go by.
Yeah, we said it over long. People kept saying he was.
No, he needs 3
Yeah,
majors.
yeah,
No.
I think
And what hurts these young Lions? You know what I see coming? I hope I'm just looking at the women's tour and seeing what the Asians have begun to do to
Well,
the
they did a long
women's.
time ago. Yeah, they did a long time
I'm
ago.
wondering.
There's some good Asians coming over to men's. They are.
Absolutely. Unless you're me and pick the wrong guy with the same name, that's another story. Let's do in my mind, football. Tom Brady.
Yeah, he is. And it's really simple that and anybody wants to argue that he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
You
to
just
me.
go like this. Here,
Yeah.
that's all I'll do.
He's the greatest quarterback of all time with 7 Super Bowl, 3 league MVPs, 17 division titles.
He only has 200.
And that argument went on a long time between Belichick and Brady, and I never blinked.
No,
I
you didn't, no.
I always said,
Yeah.
I started this way. Belichick is one of the 3 greatest coaches of all time.
Absolutely.
But he won because of Brady. Has he won a championship without Brady
I
yet?
see, right. If he finishes lousy this year, that's
I'm just
gonna-
saying, no, and remember, I don't want to brag about him if he
Yeah.
just makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
I want to, if he wins
win it
the
all.
Super Bowl,
Right.
then I'll give him credit.
Let's
yes.
do our last 3. Rocky Marciano retired undefeated,
That's all you gotta know.
49 and 0.
No, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Did I say he was better than Ali? No. I didn't say he was better than Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali was, in my mind, the best.
49 and 0.
But winning-wise, somehow he went out on that ring 49 times in a row, George.
Yeah.
How about that? Olympics, I know you follow this guy.
Yeah.
Michael
Absolutely.
Phelps, 28 Olympic medals, 23 gold medals, most decorated Olympian of all time in America.
He's
No
had his
question about it.
struggles all out of the
Oh,
pool,
yeah, he has
and all,
struggles
which
too.
we're all human.
Yeah.
But in that pool, I'm saying in my time, he's the greatest.
Oh yeah, there's a couple coming through right now that are trying to, they're trying to do what he did. But until they do it,
Right.
you have to match up with Michael Phelps. And the dedication of this show that we've done tonight is to the number 1 guy,
Yeah.
and that's Bill Russell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bill Russell. If you read, get your YouTube on, get your reading out, and read about him.
And don't think he was playing against plumbers, this jackass that played for
Yeah.
Duke. Look at Will Chamberlain, Walt Bellamy,
yeah. These are
Nate
men.
Thurman.
These are men.
And also, his contribution off the floor. This guy, they crapped in his bed.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he's a winner in life too. Don't forget, he could have really been dangerous. He could have really been one of the guys. He just said it's wrong. What's going on here? Yeah. And here he did what the number 1 thing he did. Why he's the number 1 winner of all time. How much better do you make your teammates? Oh. And he would go to the game and score 6 points.
Yeah.
And made his teammates look like they were all-stars.
Absolutely.
That's what he did, George. That was Bill Russell. So he's the guy, winningest guy on our list. Thanks for listening.
I hope you enjoyed the show. See you next week on Bottom Line Sports Talk.